Does anybody know who this guy is? Who is this guy? Come on. It ain't me for sure because I'm not white, but who is this guy? Who? Warren Buffett it is. Good for you. This is Warren Buffett. That's his net worth in 1957. How many guys have more money than $140,000? Raise your hand if you got more than $140,000 net worth. Okay, you're richer than Warren Buffett once was. Now watch this. We're about to dissect this and then you'll see where I'm going with this. And I'm going to give you clear leaks some of you are making, and to make sure you plug it so it doesn't get worse for you and you excel. And one day we're telling your story on stage like this. 1957, he's worth 140. 13 years later, 1970, he's worth 25 million. What do you want to be worth in 13 years, huh? Long term, you want to think that long? Too long, right? Oh, 13 years. You ready for the next one? The next one's intense, by the way. From 1970 to 1983, what do you think his net worth is in 83? 620. From 620 to 1996, you ready? Boom. 17 billion. 2009, 37 billion. 2022, 97 billion. From $140,000 to $100 billion net worth. Why though? Why? What do you think separates him from his peers? I'm reading, Dave, write this book down, guys. Everybody needs to go write this book. I didn't write it. It's a book called How to Invest by a guy named David Rubenstein that's worth $4 billion, okay? He's the guy that started a company called Carlyle Group. You've probably heard of Carlyle Group. He goes interviewing all of these billionaires and guys that are running hedge funds and asks them, what is your investment strategy, right? Do you know 90% of all the people, you'll see when you read this, I'd say 70% of all the people he interviewed, everybody gives credit to one person. Guess who it is? This guy. And guess what they say about him? His edge on everybody was what? He's a what? And everybody else is thinking what? My return this year. It's like, no, man, we're going to go long term. Do you guys know a year and a half ago what they were bashing Buffett for? Warren Buffett sitting on $125 billion of cash with Berkshire Hathaway. We feel Warren Buffett's lost his ways. You know, he is no longer the same Warren Buffett he once used to be. The last 7 years he's been losing to S&P. You are better off to put the money in the S&P 500 or Bitcoin or Ethereum rather than putting the money with Berkshire Hathaway. How many guys would love to have $125 billion of cash today? What do you think he's about to buy? He's going shopping. And guess what he's buying the next 3, 6, 12 months? Companies on flipping sale. And the next thing you know, boom, next level. Now, the guy is not going to live another 26 years to see a couple more doubles. I think he's 90 years old right now. But the point is this. What if many of us think like he does? What if many of us think like he does? So again, those who capitalize from the current times will be, let me tell you, will be long-term thinkers. Will be long-term thinkers. Here lies a short-term thinker. Over the next 3, 6, 12 months, I'm telling you right now, go to the cemetery of former money makers filled with short-term thinkers everywhere. When I studied for my Series 7, I studied for my Series 7 every day next to my grandmother's plot at Forest Lawn, right off the 170, 134 freeway. I don't know if you guys know where that's at. And I would sit right next to her, and I would read my Kaplan book to take my Series 7, because she had just died. So I would study there. It was calming for me. When I would take a break, I would walk, and this was my exercise. Yeah, I don't recognize that name. Nope. 39 years this person lived. 62 years, 83 years, 49 years, and then you'd stand like this, who's this guy? And then there was like one big one. You see this name, and then you go Google it. Oh wow, this guy was somebody. Okay, crazy, boom. And I would sit there and I would say, okay, when the day comes and you die, what are you gonna say when they walk by your plot? Here lies a short-term thinker, hell to the no. How many of you guys want to say that with me on 3? 1, 2, 3. Hell to the no. Say it with me. Say, I'm a long-term thinker. Say it again. Say it louder. Even louder. Last time. Dude, say it to yourself regularly. If your wife is upset, say, babe, remember, babe, we're what? What, babe? We're long-term thinkers. We are long-term thinkers. You're gonna see stress is gonna go like this, confidence is gonna go like this. Poise is gonna go here. So now, let's look at the whole thing together, because I wanna make a point to you guys. Everything I just showed you, this is a snapshot that you have on one page. It shows Dow where it was to where it's at today. Interest rates, how many times it changed. Home price value, how many times it changed. But this is the one I want to show you. Look at the amount of times Warren Buffett increased his net worth and how many doubles it was. Look at this. From 140,000 to 25 million. You know what that is? That's 178x. 178x. The next one is 25x, from 25 million to 620. How many of you guys would like to increase your net worth 25x the next 13 years? Would anybody like that? That's exactly the point. So now next one, 27x, from 620 to 17 billion. Then it's 2.2x. Then it's 2.68. The guy was struggling at the end. He only went from 37 billion to 100 billion. Poor guy. If you guys want to send him some money, you can sell him $5. I'm sure he'll appreciate it if you send him some money. But he started with 140. What's the number you're starting off with? So what's the difference between this guy and you? Well, Pat, you can't compare me to Buffett. I get it. I'm not telling you for you to be worth $100 billion however many years from now. But can you think long term to say 40 years from now I want to be worth 100 million? Is that realistic? Of course it is. Why can't you put a $100 million number to yourself? Why can't you say, hey, you know what, babe? I don't know. In 13 years, I want to be worth 10 million. Let's solve for 10 million in 13 years. I know it's a lot of money to us today. We only got $52,000. But if this guy can go from 52 to 20, from 140 to 125, I want to go 52 to 10 million in 13 years. Great. Then go solve for that. And it gives you something to look forward to, and it's exciting when you're thinking that way. Next one. As we go through this, okay? As we go through this, I want to show you this. If Dow from 1983 went from 1258 to 28,000, how many times is that? Does anybody know how many times that is? That is 23x. Let's take 23x and see where Dow will be from today by 2061. Many of you will be alive in 2061. Believe it or not, we're living a long life nowadays. Here's what it looks like. Dow's going to be at 655,902. You know what this means? Long-term future looks what? Short-term times look what? Maybe scary, but not long-term. So now, in order for this to work for you, you need a clear philosophy for this to happen.